Hey guys, what's going on? It's Orlando here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today what we're going to talk about is the American League odds for this postseason coming up for the World Series 2021. I did talk about the NL in my last video, so make sure you guys go check that one out. And if you guys like these types of videos, please hit the like and subscribe. If you're new, please subscribe and join my OP23 Sports Network. Go ahead and join the Sports Network family, and I'm trying to post daily with the upcoming postseason with the wild cards and the NLDS. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right. So let's jump into it. So the postseason is upon us. I did post this in my last video. I posted the NL. Now we're gonna talk about the AL. So with the wild card setup, we have the Yankees home versus the Red Sox. To me, this will be a great game. It's gonna show who's really ready, and the pitching will be a big factor. I think Garrett Cole's going to throw this game, and I think Indolvi might start this game. I'm not really sure, but we'll hop into that later on when I post the wild card later tomorrow. So the AL, we have the Rays first. They have home field advantage right here. Second and third. Second is Houston, and third is the White Sox. Gonna be a good matchup, but we'll hop into it. Let's jump into their pros and cons, and I'll give you my MLB prediction later in a couple videos on who I think can still win this World Series. Number one, we have the Tampa Bay Rays. Here is the pros. They have the best AL record with 100 wins. They have been 7-10 in the last 10 games. They have home field advantage. What I just said. If they keep winning, they're the number one seed, and they'll be having home field advantage. They're second in runs out of the 5 teams. They're second in extra base hits, second in RBIs, and third most walked team, and first in stolen bases. So all these pros are going to show if they can keep that momentum going into the playoffs. You need runs to win. You need extra base hits to hopefully stretch things out with situational hitting. You need RBIs to score. Getting walked means that you have potential to open things up with different types of hitting. Stolen bases, if they can steal right and get some people across, they do have great speed. They are really young, in my opinion, so that's a good thing. Now, pitching wise, they have the best ERA, 3.67. They're second in earned runs. They're third in home runs. Here, remember, these are all out of the 5 teams. So each team that I talk about, this is out of who I think. So they're second out of the 5 teams in extra base hits. They're second in earned runs out of the 5 teams. So just be aware of that. It's not the whole American League or the MLB. So they do have great experience. They have been in the playoffs the last couple years. They did go to the World Series last year. I think this is the time for them to finally make that jump and win their first World Series. They have a good chance. They have a good team. They upgraded with Cruz. They got Wander Franco back. Diaz is still hitting well. Kiermaier is good in the outfield. Pitching wise, they're still updating. They're still trying to make roster spots, which I'll talk about in the cons in a minute. But pitching wise is really good. They do have great pitchers. Their strikeout ratio is very high, which is really good. They strike out a lot of teams when they pitch, so that's really good. They're first in walks, so they don't allow a lot of walks, which is good. You can't allow a lot of walks, especially in the postseason. That creates more tension. That creates pressure. So remember that for the pros. Cons wise, they are fourth out in hits. So even though they have 100 wins, hitting wise, they are not that really consistent. So that's what right here on the bottom, hitting needs to be consistent. They at least need to get 8 hits, 9 hits, or spice things up. If you're only getting 3 to 4 hits against great pitching, you're not really going to win that game. So they need to start hitting better in the postseason. They do have great hitting, but they need to hit a little better and be consistent in the postseason games. They're the most strikeout out team in the 5 teams. Surprisingly, that is true. When you're the most strikeout team, you are winning the most. I don't know why that's true. That's really weird, but they are the most K team, so they need to limit those strikeouts. They have the fourth best batting average of 242, but that's weird because they have 100 wins. It doesn't make sense, but they need to make sure that batting average is good. They need to come together as a team and know how to score runs and know how to get on base. They are fourth in save opportunities. Save wise, they have been struggling. Yesterday, they did play the Yankees and could not get the win. They used a lot of pitching, and it just felt a little different for them. So they need to start saving and closing those opportunities if they're up by 1 or 2 points. They're second in allowing hits. That's not really good. You can't allow a lot of hits to great teams. If they do, they will capitalize, and eventually it can cause errors. It can cause a lot of mental things going on. So, filling playoff roster spots, pitching is a concern. They have a lot of great pitchers, but they don't know which ones to put in, which is very weird. Hitting wise, I think they're all filled. Pitcher wise, they need to fill it up really quick before the NLDS comes upon them. Number 2 is the Houston Astros. Pros, they are injury free. They have been like this the whole season, which is really good. So they know what to expect. They played a lot of games. I think they're going in pretty ready. Pitching is slowly getting better since Verlander. When Verlander got his arm hurt, the pitching has been slowly getting better. Last season, 2020, it was fine, but they needed that extra help. They needed that experience with Verlander and Greinke. But now I feel like they're slowly getting up there pitching wise. They have the best batting average, 267 as a team, which is really good. Even with the whole scandal that happened in 2017, they are hitting the best in the AL. They're first in scoring runs, first in hits, which is really good. You need runs to win games. You need hits to be consistent. So if they're staying consistent the whole playoffs, I think they'll be fine. With their record being 95 and 67, which is really good. They just know how to keep winning games, so that's really good for the Astros. Experience infield, you got Bregman, you got Correa, you got Altuve, and Gurriel. That is experience infield. They have to limit those errors, which I'll talk about in the cons. Third and extra base hits, which is really good. You need doubles, triples, home runs to hopefully spark things up. They're first in RBIs. They are consistent at that. They know how to score runs, which is the best thing. They are fewest amount in Ks hitting wise, so they do not strike out a lot, which is really good. They know how to expand the zone, how to draw walks, which is really good. They're second in allowing hits, pitching wise. Their pitching, like I said, is slowly getting better, which is what they need to hopefully get that momentum going into the postseason. Cons, they are the fourth most walked team. They need to draw more walks to get on base. They are fourth in ERA and pitching, which is weird because they have the fewest amount. They allow hits. So limit those runs. They need to. Their last and save opportunities. They need to close out games better. Not saying that they haven't, but they need to finish it out better. Fourth in allowing home runs. First in allowing walks. Like I said, you can't allow too much of these walks and home runs. If you do, you're potentially going to lose those games in the postseason, especially when it's critical for the pitching to come alive. They're least in amount of Ks. They do not strike out a lot of people, but they are big and double plays and putouts, so that's a good thing. Errors in the postseason have hurt them in the past. Altuve, I remember he made a couple errors in one postseason game, and that really hurt them. So hopefully the infield does stay consistent. They get a lot of ground balls and a lot of throwing wise because, remember, it is full crowds now, so people will need to understand that with them saying you're cheaters and stuff like that. They need to get rid of that and just move on. Pitcher rotation is good, but could be better. Like I said, the pitching right here, they are the most walked team in ERA. If they limit that in the postseason, I think they'll be fine. I think they have a good chance of winning the NLDS with the White Sox, but we'll talk about it. Third is the Chicago White Sox. Pros, they're third in hits. That's really good. Even though with the team they got, they are very humble, and I think they'll give a show. So it means, like, I think they're not afraid to finally show what they got. They are being consistent. They should have made it last year, but they didn't. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So they're second in walks and hitting, third in Ks and hitting, third in stealing bases, third in batting average, second in ERA. So remember, when you have these things combined hitting wise, it shows that the potential for your postseason. It shows who has been being consistent. Averages do not matter in the playoffs. In the postseason. In the regular season. So remember, when it comes to the playoffs, wherever's hot, you got to keep them in. If someone's struggling, you got to take them out. If they're 0 for 13 in the postseason, you really got to mix it up with somebody. I don't care if it's Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, you got to mix it up. You have to give those opportunities to people who you think are going to be right in those spots. There are 30 save opportunities. They can close out games, which is really good, which is why the record is 93 and 69. So they know how to win games. They're first in allowing hits, first in earned runs. They have great pitching. I'll give them that. They have good pitching. But we'll talk about that in the cons. But allowing their pitching has kept them in a lot of games, which is why Chicago has won their division. They're second in allowing home runs and second in allowing walks. Like I said, the pitching has kept them in the game. They have been really consistent pitching wise. Hitting wise, it's a little different, but I think that if the pitching stays in the game, the White Sox will be fine. They are fourth in scoring runs, last in extra base hits, fourth in RBI. You got to score runs. You got to get extra base hits like home runs, doubles, and triples. RBIs are a big factor. You got to score runs. Right here, like I said, in the hitting, it needs to come out. It needs to come out faster. It needs to come out alive in this postseason. If the White Sox are not, it's going to be difficult for them to win. They're fourth in fielding percentage. They got to get better with their ground balls and pop flies. They have a lot of miscommunication sometimes, so they need to get better at that. They play a lot of weak teams on the schedule, like the AL Central teams, like the Indians, the Twins, the Royals, and the Tigers. That is 81 of their 162 games. They have not played a lot of the five teams that are in the postseason. So with a weaker schedule, it's going to show if they can hang with these big teams like the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Rays, and the Astros. So like their first matchup against the Astros is going to be tough, but we're going to see if they can handle it. But they have come out in big situations where they won against the Yankees a couple times, So if they can do that, they will have a good chance. They allow a lot of runs to these other postseason teams. Their pitching is good, but the pitching kind of struggles when it comes to playing the Rays or the Astros, so they need to hopefully limit those. The fourth is the Yankees. There's a lot of cons, I think, in my opinion, with how big this team is, so we'll talk about it. They are a regular postseason team. They just continue to make the postseason. I don't know. They struggle a lot during the season, a lot of ups and downs, but they just make it to the wild card. They are the favorites. The past couple years, they have beat the Oakland A's. They beat the Twins. So the Yankees are, I think, the favorites in the wild card against the Red Sox, but you never know. Anything can happen. They are the most walked team with their big hitters like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu draws a lot of walks, so that's a good thing. Pitching wise, they have the best ERA. They have their second save opportunities, third in allowing hits, third in earned runs, third in allowing walks, and second in Ks. They have good pitching. I'll give them that. With Garrett Cole right there, Corey Kluber, I'm not sure if he's going to be starting a lot, but their pitching is good. They have kept them in the games. That's why they have won 91 games. 92 games. But they need to be consistent. The pitching needs to limit those walks and those hits and those runs. So to keep the hitting at least in the game. They have talent, but they must use it. So with all the talent they have, Odor, Stanton, Judge, Mayhew, Urshela, Torres, Gardner, like they have the talent. They need to put it together though. They got to figure it out as a team right now. If they don't in the postseason, they will lose the first game in the wild card. Cons. There's a lot of cons in my opinion with this team. They're last in runs, last in hits, last in extra base hits, last in RBIs. They're second in being striked out. They're fourth in stealing bases. They're last in batting average. Pitching wise, they're last in allowing home runs. Last in fielding percentage. So hitting wise, as big as the team as they got, they were struggling in the first part of the season, but they really turned it around in the second part. They need to hit. They need to score. They need to find pitches that they can hit. If they don't, the Yankees struggle against great pitching. They always do. They've lost against the Rays numerous of times. The Orioles gave them struggle, and they shouldn't have. So the Yankees need to start hitting. It starts from the top with Mayhew, and it ends at the bottom with Odor or Torres. I mean, like, things have to come together. It has to for this team, or unless they want to win the wild card, because the Rays are their biggest enemy right now if they win the wild card. Right here, pitching wise, they're last in allowing home runs. They allow too much home runs on the pitching side, and they're last in fielding percentage. So they need to limit the errors, limit the mistakes, and get better. Their lineup is overhyped. That's my opinion. That's no one else's. The lineup is overhyped because of how much they get paid, and they cannot seem to just win the World Series and how much money they got. That lineup needs to figure it out right now. They need to. If they don't, by Tuesday, when they face the Red Sox, they will lose. So, yeah. Fifth is the Boston Red Sox. Here with the Red Sox. Very surprising team because I didn't expect them to win it. I picked the Blue Jays to hop in there because I thought they were hot at the right time. But the Red Sox are impressive. They are still a good team. Chris Sale did come back off the injury, and he looks good. Remember, this wild card will be on. It'll be tomorrow at 8:08 on ESPN. It's the Yankees at the Red Sox. So yeah, because the Red Sox won the tiebreaker against the Yankees, but I put Boston fifth because I thought they were fifth. So that is my bad. My apologies. Pros: they're third in scoring runs, second in hits, first in extra base hits, RBIs, second in being striked out, second in batting average. So hitting wise, they are consistent. They are in the top three hitting, so that's a good thing. They seem to have that. Like, their names are not big. JD Martinez is still there. Rafael Devers, shortstop is there. So they have been consistent, knowing the names that they don't have anymore. Like Mookie Betts isn't there anymore, So, but yeah, that's just me. So. They're second in save opportunities, fewest in allowing home runs, which is a good thing. They're third in strikeouts, which is really good. They pitching wise is good. I'm not saying they're not. I think Chris Sale might start this game, but I think Evaldi might start it too. I'm not really sure. We'll jump into that in the next video for the wild card. Cons: they're last in walks. They need to draw more walks to win. They're last in stolen bases. They have some speed, but I think they're afraid to use it. They're last in ERA pitching wise. Limit those runs pitching. They need to. With the Green Monster, how short it is, they need to limit that. And especially going, in Boston, they need to limit those home runs to Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton with that series they had against them. They're last in allowing hits, pitching. That's really bad. You got to limit those hits. Hopefully start drawing more ground balls and pop flies. They're last in earned runs, which is not good. You can't allow a lot of runs if you're going to win. They're second in allowing hits, which is not good at all. They're last in fielding percentage. So all around, this is all defensive stuff. Mainly hitting-wise, I think it's okay. I think they'll be okay. But defensive-wise, they need to shut it down and hopefully win more games by their defense. So, but yeah, guys, this is my American League pros and cons. If you guys like the videos, please hit the like and subscribe to the OP23 Sports Network. Remember, I will jump into the wild card games tomorrow with the Yankees and the Red Sox. So I'll jump into that. Make sure you guys check out that video. And make sure you guys check out my other videos. If you guys like these types of videos, please hit the comments down below. I'm not afraid of any criticism, so go ahead and throw whatever you want in there. Give me your opinion also. I'm going to throw another MLB prediction on who might win the World Series after the wild card game. So we'll jump into that this week, and we'll jump into it next week when the NLDS and ALDS hop in there, okay? So hope you guys like and subscribe. Welcome to the OP23 Sports Network. I am Orlando. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.